Morning, everyone. I, like many of you, feel at a total loss for words, really, at this point, incapable of fully processing all of the emotions that I have been feeling and experiencing since the beginning of all these terrorist attacks in Israel. It feels different. I feel different. And I'm sure many of you feel different as well, and almost incapable or unable to at this point know how anything that we here do in America, or anyone who are not on the front lines of battle, how we can actually make a difference, how we can actually help and support anyone. And so I thought that perhaps every single day throughout these horrible, horrible things that are taking place in Israel, we can come together for a short daily chizuk, daily words of inspiration and Torah, and God willing, in so doing, in the words that we share, it should serve as a tremendous support to all of our brothers and sisters in Israel, and God willing should lead to the salvation of the Jewish people, and that Israel should be victorious very soon. So I want to share with you a daily piece, and today I'll share with you a medrash that is found in Bamidbar Rabbah. The medrash tells us that there's a fascinating comparison between the generation of David HaMelech, of King David, and the door of King Achav, who was one of the worst kings of the Jewish people. The Medrash tells us, Tinokos shahayu bimei David, ad shelo tamu tam chit, that the children, the babies in the generation of David, they never sinned. They never tasted anything like sin. And hayu yodin ledrosh as a Torah mem tes panim tamei umem tes panim tahor. They could darshan, they could expound, they could learn Torah from here till tomorrow, up and down. They knew everything about Torah. V'achar kol hashevach hazeh, and after all of this praise, yotzen lamilchama, when they went out to war, benoflin, they died. Aval doro sha'achav, but King Achav, kulo ovdei avodos kolchavim hayu. Every single one of them were idol worshippers in this generation. But nonetheless, Yotzin la Melchama, they went out to war, and they were victorious. The Medrash says, how could this be? The generation of David HaMelech, of the great King David, they went out to war and died when they were so great, so holy, so pious. But in the generation of Achav, they were Risha'im, they were wicked. And somehow, they managed to be victorious in all of their wars. Says the Medrash, the reason is because of their unity. That in the generation of King David, they were not as unified. But in the generation of Achav, they were unified. And the unity of that generation stood as a melitz, as an advocate and a support to help them be victorious in war. And that was a koach, a strength that they did not have in the generation of King David. And amazingly, we come to understand and learn that throughout all the trials and tribulations that the Jewish people have faced year in and year out, decade after decade, century after century, millennia after millennia, the one strong saving grace that we have as a people in times like the horrific times that we're living and experiencing right now, is that we have to come together. And we can't allow our petty differences to dissolve our relationships anymore. We have strong differences between one another. That much is clear. We know that already. We can easily list the differences between one another. But to find the commonalities, to find the unity, is not just a cliche, but it is a reality. That if we can manage to cling on to what brings us together, that will serve as the proper advocate to have our tefillos, our prayers answered, that we should be saved from the horrific times that we are in. Come together. Find an opportunity to connect to people who you don't normally connect to. Find the common ground that does exist between us, even if it is somewhat limited at times. And use our commonalities to bring us closer to end these terrible times that we are in. Even if we are the most wicked, if we are unified, we are so much stronger. Hashem should bless us that every single day as we come together, we should come a little bit closer to Him and to one another, and in so doing, these times will be a thing of the past. Wishing everyone a beautiful and peaceful day.